Hey man, I'm recording this video for you. Yes, you right there. And this is me looking at the camera so you can see me looking at you on camera. Hey, how are you? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit some of this video and we're gonna chop this down so you can see I got a nice, clear, clean audio right now. And now maybe I don't have a nice, clean, clear audio because my hand is positioned incorrectly. Now my hand is positioned correctly. You can probably hear the difference. So that's what I talked about in some of the other videos, making sure that you're looking at the camera, making sure that you got decent lighting. I'm just recording this video on my phone. There's nothing special here in this video. I'm literally I press record, I'm going, I'm looking at you, I'm talking, I'm excited, I'm being myself, okay? So that's it, just get out there and press record. Now, we didn't get into keywords and all those other things in here and scripting it all, but we're recording this because we're just showing the editing process, and I'm gonna show you how to watch this video that you're watching right now. We're gonna edit this, we're gonna chop it up, and then we're gonna get it ready for YouTube. So see you there. Keep watching. All right, so welcome to the editing phase. Now you just saw the finalized product. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna reverse it and we're gonna go back and we're gonna edit this video. Now I am in Imovie because I'm using a MacBook. Now, depending on how much editing you want to do, for me, I like to keep it really, really simple. And most of my YouTube videos, unless I'm actually making like a VSL, like an actual video sales letter for a funnel, for a sales page, for something along those lines, I keep my editing on most of my YouTube videos. Now, these are the videos that we've been talking about throughout this entire course. Is when you're speaking directly to one person, I have very little editing in there, just a little bit of background music. Maybe I'll put some words on the screen. Maybe I'll have a spin out or a spin in going from one clip to another, but that's really about it. And again, if you're just making good content, it's the quality. I want you to realize this. It's the quality of the content that people are looking for, not how technical of an editor you are, right? So know that you don't have to be a fancy video editor. I know people that I follow on YouTube and people that I've been following for years that are amazing video editors, but you don't need that. You don't need to get to that level of video editing. You just don't. In order for you to be able to resonate with people, you just have to put out good contact. You have to speak directly to one person, just like I'm talking to you right now. So here's what we're going to do. The very first thing that I like to do in editing, and remember, if you're not going to use a video editor, it's totally okay. You can just go record your content. You can still upload it to YouTube. But if you're not going to edit your video in any way, you can obviously keep watching this video, or you can move on to the next lesson about uploading, because before you upload it to YouTube, there are some specific things that you do need to do to your video, which we're going to talk about that in the next lesson. So we're in Imovie now. So before I go doing anything, when I drop it in here, and again, you could be doing this if it's not Imovie, if you're on a PC, if you're on a non-Mac or non-iPhone device, I'm sure the editing softwares are very, very similar. The first thing I like to do is I like to raise my volume up. So it automatically comes in here at 100%. I like to bring it up to about 200%, which really isn't that significant of a difference. And obviously you can go back and you can listen to that. So that's the first thing I do. Second thing I like to do is I like to transition in. So I'll put a little, it'll go from a white fade into the video. Again, this is just me. I'm showing you all the little things that I do for most of my YouTube videos. You don't have to do any of this, but I'm just showing you some basic editing things that you need to know and understand. So if you want to do this sort of stuff, you can. So as an example, if we go through, you remember watching the video, I showed you some things where, the video was muted. There was some music. I chopped some things out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go we're literally going to blow this up so I can see and I can hear every single phrase, and any parts that I want to chop out, I'm going to be able to see that. It's a little tough when you're going to go and you're going to start editing parts out right now. It's a little tough and it's a little tricky to the way that we're viewing this. All right. The way that we're viewing this, you can see the slide over here. The video is really small. It's a little tough to edit. I can make this really, really big like that. Okay. And then I can see each little phrase. So when I pause my breath, that's when the that little wave dips down. When I start speaking, the wave goes back up. When I take a breath, it goes back down. So when I start editing parts out, if there's a part in there that I don't like, if there's a part in there that I want to edit out, I'm going to be able to see that when the wave goes down, which means I'm not speaking, and I can clip it and I can make that edit right there. So this is the process that I go through with just about every video that I upload to YouTube. I record it either on my phone or on my Mac. This video that we're watching right here, I recorded on my phone, and then I sent it over here to my Mac. I just used AirDrop, and I AirDropped it from one device to the next. And I'm sure you can do this. Again, if you're on an Android device, I'm sure you can do the same thing. You can either email it to yourself, or you can AirDrop from one device to another. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to listen to this, and we're going to chop out certain parts. Okay, so here we go. Hey man, I'm recording this video for you. Yes, you right there. And this is me looking at the camera, so you can see me looking at you on camera. Now, this is what it happens. This is what it looks like if I'm looking at the video and I'm checking myself out. This is what it looks like. Can you see me looking at you? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to chop that part out just to show you what it would look like where I'm not looking at the camera. So we're just going to cut that part out, and this is exactly how I would do it. Me looking at you on camera. So as soon as I say on camera and I switch, that's when I immediately switch to a different viewpoint. So you can see right here where the words dip down and it gets quiet a little bit. So all I'm going to do is, it means basically I'm not speaking. And you can see on the video here too, right up here, that I'm not speaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to split this clip. Okay. And then we're going to scroll a little bit further till I start looking back at the camera again. Okay. All right. And I'm going to edit this part out right here. And you can see, even as I'm recording this video and as I'm talking to you right now, we're literally just going through the editing phases. So all I'm looking for is when I go back and I start looking back at the camera again. So right there. So I'm now going to listen to the audio. I'll go back and say, hey, now I'm looking at you again. So I'm just going to say, I'm actually going to go a little bit further. Hey, how are you? Right where I say, hey, how are you? So I got this nice little gap. I got this nice little pause. All right. And I'm going to go right about there where my hand's showing. I'm going to split that clip. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this clip right out of there. Okay. So boom, that's gone. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave the rest of the video. Now what you could do, again, just to get fancy, you don't need to do, sometimes you can do spin outs, spin ins. You can have an exchange. Like sometimes what I will do is if I have a scene where I'm talking directly to you, like I am right now, I'm on camera. And then when I go to a screen share, or when I go to show somebody something, I'll put a little spin out or a spin in. So meaning it's going to look like this, and the audio, you can see it transition from one scene into the next. On camera. Hey, how are you? So you can see that little spin out on camera there. Again, a little something fancy. Do you need to do it? No, absolutely not. I could just go from one piece over to the next. All right. So as you go and watch this entire video, you're going to see how that looks. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to shrink it back. And what we're going to do is I'm even going to go ahead and I'm going to put some titles in to say, I'm going to go over here to titles, and I'm just going to grab this right here, and I'm going to put it right over this little transition and show you how to do this. Now, again, this isn't something that you need to do. I'm just walking you through this editing process here. I'm going to change the title. That just says notice the transition here. All right, I'm going to center that, and that's it. So as I play it, and you guys actually watch this whole video and watch the edited version of this video, you guys are going to see this in there. You guys are going to see that in there. All right, so that's that. I have two. So what have we done from an editing standpoint? We put a white fade in. We're putting a black fade out. We split a clip. We took some audio out there. We have this little thing that slides in that says, notice the transition here. The only other thing that I'm going to do now is a lot of my videos, I like to have a little bit of audio, a little bit of music in the background. So I have some music that I have saved here to my computer. So I'm literally just going to click and drag, and I'm going to pop that over here. Just click and drag. That's what most editing is. I'm going to chop off the back half of this, okay, because The length of the video is really only, a minute or two long, but this song is actually like 11 minutes long. So I'm going to get rid of all of that. Now you can see we're back to a minute and 25 seconds, which is the total time of the video. And what I'm going to do with this background music, it comes in at 100%. So just like when we were looking at the volume for me speaking, that was at 200%. When we go and we look at the volume for the music, that's at 100%. That would be really distracting if I left this at 100%. So I know that I'm going to bring this down to about 4%. And what we want is we want the background music to be there, but we want it to be really subtle. And you don't want the background music to take away from the message that you're trying to speak to your, the person that you're talking to. You don't want that background music to be a distraction. You just want it to be there, and you want it to just it's just a vibe. You're really just going for a vibe. And again, do you need background music? No, absolutely not. Do you need words on the screen? No, absolutely not. Do you need transitions? Do you need fade ins, fade outs? No, absolutely not. But these are just, I'm giving you the little subtleties that I do with my YouTube videos. So this is really it. Now, obviously with a longer video, I might have more transitions. I might have maybe a little more words on screen, but overall, this is the basics that I put into my YouTube videos. And it's really, really simple. There isn't any crazy editing in here. All I would do is I would just go in there and I would split the clip and I would chunk out anything where I messed up. I didn't get the words right. So remember to do that. You want to look at like really an expanded view. And I'm sure you're going to have this in your editing software so you can see, where the volume dips down and there's a pause in words. And then you go back to speaking, and you can go back and you can split those clips and you can remove any of those pauses. And then it's just going to sandwich the pieces, the parts that you do want to keep. It's going to sandwich those together. So that is it for video editing. I like to keep it really simple. And again, based on your level of ability, where you are at. So here we are. Watch, we're going to transition out of this right now. And hey, we're back. So what you want to do is, whatever level of ability that you're at, it's okay to be there, but just be committed to, number one, being resourceful and just being willing to learn, being willing to go learn a little bit of editing. When I first started making videos, I had no idea how to use Imovie. I had no idea how to do any sort of editing. How did I learn? I went onto YouTube and I looked up how to edit and, how to edit a video in Imovie or whatever the search phrase was that I used. But I went and I watched a video and I learned, and then I went and applied it. And that's the best way to get out there and go learn. And all you got to do is just go practice a little bit. But again, don't feel like you need to do anything fancy. Just get out there and go. Press the record button and go. Get into an editing software and just go. And guess what? If you screw up, you can unedit what you just screwed up. That's the beauty of editing, is you have the ability to undo what you did. Okay. So just get out there, go be resourceful. If you're on a Mac or you're on an iPhone sort of device, I would recommend iMovie. It's simple. It's pretty easy to use once you get in there and you just kind of go click and drag and you figure some things out. And if you screw up, you just go to edit and hit undo, and you can fix any mistakes that you make. That is really it. If you're on a Google or like an Android device, again, just be a little resourceful, get out there, figure out what devices, what apps that you have on your phone, what apps do you have that are on your device. Get out there, go to YouTube, research, watch a couple videos, figure out some real basic editing things that you can use just to spruce up your videos a little bit, just to take them from no editing at all to just a little bit of editing, just to increase and improve that vibe that you're trying to go for. Remember, take a look at the videos that you enjoy watching. And as an example, if the videos that you enjoy watching, if you're going to learn and watch a video and you're learning how to do something in, affiliate marketing, network marketing, email marketing, or a specific niche that you're in, and those videos don't have music, then you don't really need music, right? Because if those are the videos that you enjoy watching, chances are someone's going to enjoy watching the videos that you're putting out. And if you don't like background music, don't put in background music. If you do like it, put it in. It's simple. If you do like cool fun little transitions from one segment over to another, then use it. If you don't use it. The whole point of editing is when you press record, you have the option. This is the whole point of editing. When you press record and you're recording your video and you're just, working through your keywords, you're working through your feel, you're talking directly to that person, and you screw up, you can go back into editing and you can keep going. You just take a breath, you keep going, you chop that little part out, and you keep recording rather than stopping, starting, stopping, starting. If you know you're going to do a little bit of editing, you can press record and just go. That is the beauty of editing. And that is it for this video. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.